Hello everyone, I hope you're doing very well. And today I want to talk about one word, and that is something which is missing a lot in our daily life, in the society right now, and that is patience. Alright, patience can sound really boring, as a quote from one of my friends' son. He said, you know, when the parents are saying, be patient, he said, well, patience is boring. We all agree that patience is not a pleasant thing to have because, let's be honest, we are so busy nowadays. We have so many things we want to achieve. Time is running, time is only going forward. It never goes, backwards. How can we be patient? There are so many things we want to do, there are so many things on the list I want to tackle, and there are so many things we can think of that we need more time. And how can we sit here and doing nothing? And be honest, I'm feeling the same. And in general, we are always doing something. Either, we're doing some housework or work, or minding the kids, or writing something, or read something. Whatever you're doing, we are humans. We need to do things. But let me share with you a story that, especially as some of you know that I came from Hong Kong, and before Hong Kong I was actually born in China mainland, and I had a journey that the sponsorship had me, work-wise moved from, first of all, from China mainland to Hong Kong. I moved there for about 5 years, and then also I got another sponsorship in Australia, and that's when we moved the family to Australia and we became the citizenships here, and they're the citizens here. And the thing that I want to share with you about the story is, when we just moved, especially for me, when I moved from China mainland to Hong Kong, I think in general, in comparison, people in Hong Kong, they are faster, the speed is much more faster, and you're like, I remember when I just moved from China mainland to Hong Kong, and I saw people around the street, everybody's like crazily rushing, and they're running, and they're always like worried being late for something, and people are just very frustrated, they're not very happy, when the way how they talk, they're not very patient. I don't know if there's any change in Hong Kong right now because we haven't been there for a long time, but in general, the culture is like that because the competition is so high and everybody wants to, just catch every single moment to learn things, to catch up with things so that they won't be out. And it's understandable, when the society is getting so competitive, you just need to work harder to get things and to achieve things. And that's when it was like, I'm not really used to that kind of feeling when I say people is like, why are they hate me? That's how I was feeling at the beginning. And it was just a misunderstanding. It's like people there are really nice, they are funny, they have, the sense of humor, which I really liked. My husband's from Hong Kong as well. I love people from there, but it took me a long time to understand. It's just because that, of their culture and their, the things about that, they're just impatient, and it's happening everywhere in the world now. But let me share with you, when we moved from Hong Kong to Australia to Melbourne, that was a very big challenge as well, because when we came here, people are always in a slow mode, not that slow, but compare with Hong Kong, my gosh, here people are just so slow, they're enjoying lives, in which there are so many things that I learned. At the beginning, I just couldn't, get used to it. For example, when I call someone regarding something to follow up, and for me, I think in Hong Kong you can do it within an hour or even less, or a few minutes you can get this done. But here, when you call someone, they say, yeah, we'll come back to you later, and later becomes a week or even longer. So it's crazily, gap compared to when you were in Hong Kong. Things just come so quickly, efficiently, and fast, and so on. So it took me so long to understand that it's a different culture, and people take time to rest, take time to slow down, to break, and so on. So I would say I'm really grateful that I learned that kind of pace, which is slower, from people around me in Melbourne, in Australia as well. I think it's always about the balance, and when you're too much this or too much that, it's not good. But when you find the balance, life becomes much better. Anyhow, coming back to the topic I want to share today regarding patience, we also know that patience can bring you so much agony, because it's just hard, right? I'm not trying to make it up, whatever. I understand, especially nowadays we can get anything we want, Amazon delivery within one day, and we can watch a movie anytime when we turn on the TV, and we can also, meet someone, not have to be really, see them in person. We can use the phone and FaceTime, and also, even want to see someone, you can travel in the world, like roughly within one day. You can fly from one country to another. So our life just becomes so convenient, and we really have lost the patience that we should have. And when you are impatient, there are big problems, guys. For example, what I found is when you are struggling with anxiety, it's because you're impatient, because you just want to achieve that thing so hard, so badly, but it just, it takes too long, you just can't wait, and the impatience makes you miserable, makes you anxious, and many other things as well are caused by impatience. And impatience can also be when we are, like for me, as example, I'm very good at writing. I love writing. I love listening to the audio things and, watch something because it's fast, it's quick. But when I have to sit down and read a book, wow, that took me so much courage and patience and energy and everything to be there and just to tell myself, what? I just sit here. I will just read. I will just spend this time here right now. Don't think of anything else. But it's very, very hard nowadays. Let's be honest. All of you should feel in the same way, that there are so many things in our mind that we need to think about. There are so many things waiting for us to deal with, to handle, and it's very hard to just stop and do something, like focus on that thing. And sometimes it's the same as in our family. My kids want me to play with them. I try my best just put aside everything away and focus, be at present with them. But it's still very hard for me. I have to really practice again and again to have a peaceful and quiet mind when I'm really with them and focus just on them. And because we also have phone nowadays, it's so distractive that with the phone just, you just want to check if there's anything missing. It feels like if you don't check that message, someone will die, or it will be too late for you to fix any problem. That's how we're feeling right now in our minds every single day. So it's understandable that impatience is a problem in our life nowadays. Now, what we can do to be more patient. And I have prepared something that I think it's really, really helpful. And before I share with the way how to be patient, there are also stories I want to share quickly. Is when I have some of the bosses that I worked before a long time ago, some of them had really bad health issues because they worked really hard sometimes overnight. They had to go to drink with clients, and they just have so much sleepless nights. And as time goes by, when it's a little, it's probably fine, but once it's rolling more and more and more, that's when they reach to the alert, and then it's already too late. That they got their diabetes, they got many other things, disease and so on, that they had to then spend money to fix all the things with all how much efforts they made in the previous time. Now all they need to fix is a health problem. And what I'm trying to say here, guys, is be patient is one of the best ways for you to really enjoy your life. It might not help you to achieve many things in the short term, but in the long term, it also helps you it will also help you to achieve more things. Because, for example, about the thing I just shared about the health issue, if you are managing the balance of your life, if you are patient enough and take it slowly to deal with things. I'm not saying you have to take slowly for everything. Sometimes you need quick decisions, which is not problem. There's no problem on that. But when you find the balance and when you find the patience, you can achieve much more, because your base will be more solid and you can achieve further and work further as well. Now, the key to being patient, guys, I have one biggest tip, which I believe it will definitely help you, is take one step at a time. What I mean is, for example, like a baby, right? We all were babies before. When we came to this world, first of all, when baby was born, the first thing you say, oh my gosh, the baby's, turning, like they can roll, they can turn, because at the beginning they couldn't, they're like that, they can't do anything. But when I remember Cici was born and the first time she could turn, I was like, oh my gosh, she can turn already. I was so excited. That's one step. And then she started to sit up, she can sit properly. And then next step is when she can actually stand. When she could stand, I was like, oh my gosh, you can stand. I was so excited. And I believe every parent has that moment and that kind of milestone, that then she can stand. And the next step will be, oh my gosh, you can walk. When Cici could walk, I was like joyful with tears. When Selena could walk, my younger one, I was really joyful as well. I was excited because, oh my gosh, you can walk now. But after walking, and then they start to learn how to run, right? And then that's how it's like our life, guys. If we always focus on, we wanted to, we can't just run without standing. So first of all, we have to learn how to stand one step, and then we can learn how to walk the second step, and the next step will be how to run. But the problem about nowadays, why we're so impatient, is because our focus is when we haven't even stand, we wanted to fly, like we want to run and fly straight away. And that frustration, because we know good things just take time, and that time is like between you wanting to achieve that, you see your goal, and in between that, miserable feelings are attacking us every single day, and that is called impatience. So to conquer that impatience, what we just need to do is, if today you're feeling overwhelmed, today you're feeling like, I don't know when I can achieve my final goals, or you got stuck, you got overwhelmed, whatever things that are hurting you because you just wanted to achieve things quickly, or you want to get things done quickly, tell yourself, if you have like 10 things on the list you want to achieve today, sometimes the best way is just to do one thing at a time. Move one step at a time, and you will see how amazingly that you become, because how amazing you can achieve as well, because things will just getting easier, closer to your goal every single day when you are focusing on achieve a small step every single time. And that's my encouragement to all of you today. Be patient in nowadays is one of the hardest things to do, but we don't do easy things, we do the right things, and right things can be hard. But I would encourage you today to count every step when you are doing anything, and just focus on one step at a time, and you will enjoy truly the life, because you will enjoy the life more meaningfully when you are truly patient. God bless you.